Good morning, welcome to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Lady Hayes, and we have something that perfectly ties in with TERRA, and that's why we're amongst all these beautiful flowers. That's what you do. You work with flowers.
Yep,
and you make flower crowns.
I definitely do. My name's Lady Hayes. I make flower crowns, and it's great. It's so much fun to work with
How did
fresh
you get
flowers.
into this?
I've been making flower crowns probably since I was a little kid. I grew up in a very creative environment, so my mom was always doing some sort of craft. And we had gardens in our backyard.
Oh, neat.
So I remember braiding dandelion into like a French braid and making crowns. Yeah, definitely.
So I remember my mom showing me that. Braiding. We had a lot of dandelions at the end of our dead-end street on our road, and we used to go down and sit there and play. And then it came in handy when I was in the outfield at baseball too.
Right, exactly.
But
yeah, that or cartwheels.
I just stayed with dandelions, so I never really got beyond that.
Yeah.
So what I think is great is that we have a lot of our clients that shop here at TERRA have beautiful gardens, beautiful perennial gardens, and even annuals as well that you can do some amazing things with. So you're going to give some of your ideas to some of our viewers, and that use your gardens. Your garden should be in full bloom right now. We're in July officially, and we're seeing lots of color, and why not go out and use some of them?
Totally.
And make crowns.
Yep.
Crowns are trendy right now.
Crowns are so trendy right now. It's definitely on trend for weddings as well. The modern bride, I think, is looking for a complement to her traditional bouquet or like an alternative, which is great.
So you're seeing a bride actually wearing a crown of flowers now.
Absolutely. And they'll do fresh or silk.
Okay.
Typically, the brides that I work with use silk flowers.
Yes, just in case, right?
Just in case, but a lot of the brides as well are using fresh flowers.
How wonderful. And of course, then you can incorporate them into your bridesmaids.
Absolutely.
Your flower girl, of course.
Yep.
You can adorn her. So show us an example of one of the ones that you're making now. These are all fresh flowers.
So this is all fresh flowers here.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's made with roses, we've got daisies, we have ivy, and a little bit of Russian sage in there as well, just for a little pop of color.
And that's the great thing, is that you can work with herbs, you can work with all different types of greenery and flowers to create these. So they don't have to necessarily be all colorful, they can be green and just fresh.
100%. You could do all green with just a little pop of color, or we could sparkle in a little bit of color and then also put a little bit of like a fuller flower or fuller bouquet to the side, which I think always looks quite nice.
Absolutely. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know, how delicate flowers can be and touching petals. It seems like it would just be so tedious and that the flower would just explode and everything would fall up, but
they're more durable than you think they are. And I think after you kind of get a little bit of experience working with them, you can get
after
a feel
you've destroyed a couple roses.
Yeah, exactly, you can get a feel. I have a little girl too, she likes to tear all the petals off, so
I know my boys like that too. Oh, these roses are pretty.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a disaster, but all
right, so you're going to give us some tips on how to put it together. So you actually have a really interesting wire base that you use.
So this here is a floral wire. This is the base of the flower crown. So what you're going to do is grab some floral tape as well, and you can grab it here, and I like to start from the top, and basically you're just twisting all the way around, and this is just creating a bit of a grit to hold the flowers to and the rest of the tape. So you're going to continue all the way down. I'll just go part way for time's
that's
sake.
fine. Okay. And again, as you said, you know, you're going to get used to doing it if you're, you know, you do these all the time.
100%. So once you start to go, you'll get faster, definitely. And like you were saying before, this is something that is great to do for not too much money, and you can just pop out in your garden and collect some pretty things that are in season.
Well, I find sometimes if you don't have people over and you want like over to your garden to visit, you want people to see what you have. So
100%.
Why not use them in other environments so people can see all the beautiful flowers that you're growing?
Yeah.
Some gardeners want the whole world to see their garden because they spend a lot of time out there and are working very hard and changing and tweaking every season. So it's a great way to kind of show off what you have.
100%. And you don't even have to wear them on your head. It's something great that you can actually hang on to a hook as well. And just kind of drape to the side. Just
so let's
something
talk about with using fresh flowers, the longevity. You know, with, as you said, sometimes the brides will use silk flowers, probably because you don't know what you're dealing with. Obviously, a ton of heat and no moisture is not good for flowers. So
all these things,
you would need to preserve them.
Yeah, the best thing to do is to pop it in the refrigerator once you've made it, if you're not wearing it. But I think the best thing to really do is just to wear it on your head and
just go with it.
Just go with it. Let it die on your head.
And it's not just about weddings. Like some people are just sporting fresh flowers. Just go for it. If you're going to a nice event or something too, why not?
I do. I think they're great for special occasions. They're great for bridal showers. They're great for kids. Kids love to do work with flowers. It's so much fun. And you know, you buy enough of them, it's fine if they tear them all apart. And yeah, it's great. It's great fun.
It's a lot of fun. Okay, so once we have this built.
So now we've got this built here, and then what we're going to do is just grab some pliers, and what I like to do is create a loop, just like so.
Okay.
So you're going to create a loop.
Yep.
And then just pop a little bit more tape on to close the loop here.
Okay, so you're wrapping it.
So we're wrapping it
So eventually you're going to get to
this guy
having
here.
both ends done.
Ta-da! So we've got both ends done here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut some greenery first.
Okay.
So I've got some ivy here, which is always nice. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a small bouquet.
Okay.
So you can start by collecting anything. I like to go small first, so I'll grab some of the smaller buds.
So even just using a little bud.
100%.
Yeah, I love
and then
that.
you can kind of work your way up and build something. So what we'll do here, and then I'll also maybe snip one of these guys.
Okay.
So here I've got just a tiny little bouquet.
Okay.
Then what I'm going to do is you're going to place it onto the floral stem here, and you're just going to hold it tight like that.
And then you start wrapping.
And then you start wrapping, and I've
Neat.
just cut about 4 to 5 inches here, and you'll get good at this once you've done a few. The
Yeah,
first
you
one, but
sort
just
of
have fun.
Figure out the technique,
100%.
right?
And you're just going to firmly attach it like so.
But you know what? It's a fun thing too, just to try out and play around. As you said, you have a little daughter, and just to hang out and do this stuff with flowers.
It's just a good time,
right.
Yep.
It is.
Here we've got some sage. I'm just going to cut it right off.
Oh, I love that.
And then maybe we'll take another bit of pop of color here, and then you can start working with a bit of some fuller pieces here.
So the best part is you don't have to go into your garden and hack down all your flowers. You can go in and hand pick each piece you're going to use.
Absolutely. And
Look at
we
that,
can
it's
just
beautiful.
we can just kind of go like this, grab some more flowers, and then
So
again
fun.
you're just making a small bouquet. Grab this, and then we're just going to start to build and slowly kind of work our way down.
That is gorgeous.
And you don't have to worry about rushing, and you don't have to worry about how it's going to look, because you can always kind of move things around.
Right.
So if we don't like the way that looks, we can kind of shift this over, and then again you're gonna.
And as you said, I just picture it being so delicate, but once you get the technique down, you're able to do it quite easily.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you can. They're pretty durable.
So, obviously, you have a website, right? ladyhays.com?
Yes, I do.
So people can go onto the website, and if this is something that they don't want to venture into their own gardens to do,
Yeah,
you will
absolutely.
do for them,
I can do
right?
it for you
And
as
then-
well,
And
yeah.
create for an entire wedding party.
Yeah, absolutely.
A special event.
Yeah.
I like the idea of bridal showers, too. I think
Bridal
that's fun.
showers are so much fun. I mean,
Right.
you can also have your girlfriends over and have a flower crown making party over some tea or champagne.
Do all the fun things, but I love that. Use your flowers. We have to appreciate what we've been growing and working so hard in our gardens for,
Absolutely.
and let people see them. Gorgeous ideas, and again, obviously you have the silk option as well. So once you're using this, it's like training with 2 bats. The silk will be a piece of cake, right?
Done.
Can't
Yeah.
wreck those. I love it. Great ideas, and thank you. So use your flowers; they're gorgeous, and you have some good creativity there. So
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
coming in and sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Lady Hayes. We'll be back with more Terra at Home right after this.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
Heritage Perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. I'm here with Barry Katzman, who's the president of Mike Weir Winery, as well as Stoney Ridge Estate, which is where we are located this morning. Oh, and the sun came out for us just in time. Look at that.
Perfectly on cue. Yeah.
It's just like it is in Niagara.
We arrange that. With advance
This is
notice, we
good.
can arrange that.
You have connections.
Well, not that big, but some people do.
We're in this beautiful garden environment here, hearing the birds sing, and this is something very special down here. If people haven't been to Stoney Ridge before, what I find that so many different wineries have their thing, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So some of them have decks, and some of them are just inside for the wine tastings, but beautiful environments, beautiful buildings. But this is something else. This is a really gorgeous little garden we have here.
Well, thank you, and you're absolutely correct. Wineries have all kinds of different features, just like they have all kinds of different styles of wine, and that's part of the beauty of visiting wine country. But Stoney Ridge's patio and gardens are probably amongst the nicest that exist at any institution in all of Niagara. We have over 7 different garden areas here. We're actually at the Rose Garden here.
Oh, really?
And it's just a great place to enjoy a glass of wine. And as we'll get into in a little bit, we have our own on-site cheese store. It's actually the oldest winery on-site cheese store in Canada. And of course, the industry's pretty new, but still, it's been here for over 10 years.
Right.
And it features 40 different cheeses from around the world.
Amazing.
So, as a place to enjoy cheese and wine pairing, relax in a variety of different environments, these gardens are spectacular.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous. And often, we think about, traveling through the countryside here in Niagara and stopping to sip and to try different types of wines. But to having cheese paired with the wine, which is a lot of what people love to do nowadays when they're entertaining at home, this just gives them some great ideas of what works. And as we know, if you get the right cheese with the right wine, it's magic. There's something with the flavors that just the combination is wonderful.
Well, that's exactly it, and I couldn't have said it better. I mean, the wine is great, the cheese is great. Together, especially when the characteristics of two are paired in a correct fashion, it creates a different taste sensation. And there's so many great wineries in Niagara and so many great VQA wineries. But people want to do a little bit of something different at a lot of their visits.
Yes.
And at Stoney Ridge, obviously, we offer them the chance to try 40 different cheeses. We have an entire charcuterie array as well. And that's kind of the niche that we've developed for ourselves. And so it allows you to not only enjoy the wine, but kind of extend your length of stay and enjoy the wine in a different fashion.
Right, and the beautiful garden. So we're out here, so we might as well get started. We're going to start with the Pinot Grigio.
Right.
And then kind of take it up from there.
Right.
So you can tell me what cheese.
I'm going to do what I'm most familiar with
Okay.
in all the years that I've been in this industry, and that's drinking and pouring wine.
Okay, so you're good at that.
Yeah, I'm just going to start with our Pinot Grigio.
Okay.
Pinot Grigio, as most people know, is an extremely popular grape variety, and one that we've been growing in Niagara fairly recently. We're very proud of this wine. It's an LCBO General List wine, and it retails for $13.95, so it's actually fairly affordable.
Great.
And it's been our largest selling wine in the LCBO. But Pinot Grigio, when done correctly in Niagara, and we don't put any oak on it at all, it creates a real tropical fruit flavor. A lot of people that have Pinot Grigio at home are used to kind of very light citrusy style.
Yes.
Ours is a little bit different.
Okay.
It's got a bit more full fruit flavor and a bit more tropical fruit, which makes it the ideal pairing for the cheese we're about to pair it with. Yeah.
And I myself don't really like too much of an oak on a wine anyway, which is why often I stay away from Chardonnays, even sometimes the unoaked Chardonnays. Chardonnay's not my white, but I tend to I love Sauv Blancs and I love Pinot Grigios because they are so light and refreshing, right? So.
Right, so the difference between a Sauv Blanc and this wine would be a Sauvignon Blanc be a bit more grassy and a bit more herbaceous, and this has a real mellow fruit to it. This is truly a consummate patio sipping wine.
It really is. This is summer, in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it's refreshing, but
Very
it's got
nice.
that fruit component to it, kind of a tree fruit. Gives it length of finish, which allows it to pair. Sometimes wines are a little bit too thin, and if the cheese is too powerful, it can overpower it.
And we often know cheeses can be that way. So
Exactly.
which cheese are you putting with this then?
Well, we decided that the best cheese to put this with is Chateau du Bourgogne, which is a French brie. It's actually 3 bries combined from France. Of the 40 cheeses we have here, we have quite a mix of both domestic and imported cheeses. So with the brie, you have sort of a mild, creamy texture to it, and that's where this tropical fruit is a perfect pairing.
Perfect.
This is, if you put a very powerful wine with this cheese, it would overwhelm it, because this is a milder cheese with a creamy texture to it, so you need that tropical fruit, and that's why we think the Pinot Grigio with the brie from France is a perfect pairing.
Oh, gorgeous, absolutely. Okay, so moving on next, we move to a rosé now, so we're taking a little bit more depth with our wine.
Yeah, so one of the cool things about coming to wine country is you get to experience wines that you can find nowhere else in the world, and including in our own liquor stores and that. These are wines that are specific to the winery.
Right.
So I'm about to show you a wine that's brand new.
Okay.
This is the first time we've ever done it,
How
and it's a
exciting.
very interesting technique that you won't find. I don't know if any other winery is doing it. There could be one out there, but certainly one that I'm not familiar with.
Okay.
So traditionally, this is a rosé. You would look at this and you would say, oh, that's a rosé.
Right.
It's got a beautiful red color to it, and we'll kind of pour it so they can see the color.
Okay.
And the way people ask us all the time, is rosé a red or is rosé a white?
Right.
And of course, the correct answer, 99 times out of 100, is a rosé, is a red.
Right.
And so it's a red grape, and as people may or may not know, it's the skin of the grape that gives the color and texture and pigmentation to a wine. So typically with rosé, we leave the skins on during fermentation for anywhere between 5, 10, 15 hours, and that's where that pinkish hue comes from, and then you extract them. So it's a red wine that you make in a traditional way, just extract the skins earlier than normal. That's how
Right.
you get a rosé.
Wonderful.
But this is different.
Okay.
This is different. This
This
is
is
called
different.
rosé saignée.
Yes. Okay.
Now, saignée is a French term that means bleeding. So what this is this is actually 100% Pinot Noir, 100% grown on our estate here.
Okay.
So when the wine comes in, it's essentially made like a white wine, that the skins are extracted right from the beginning. And the free run juice, this is juice that accumulates only from the pressing and crushing process, is bled off to create this wine.
Oh, amazing.
So saignée is a very historic, old way to create a wine like this. And as you can see, it
How
gives it an
exciting.
intense color. So this is 100% Pinot Noir, and it's got an incredible sort of explosive berry. So free run juice is the very best of the best. When we start to press and move grapes around, everything we do as purveyors of the winemaking, we try to minimize our interaction.
Right.
Free run is zero interaction. This is literally the movement of grapes through the crushing and destemming process,
okay.
and we capture the free run juice that comes off
It's
it. And there's
incredible.
only 100 cases of this,
Wow.
and it's only available here at the winery.
Oh, it's so smooth. It's beautiful. And just before we go, again, obviously we have the red that we would get to, but you're going to have to come down here to try that. But just tell us about the cheese that you would pair with this one.
So this is called Tipsy.
Okay.
And Tipsy comes from Woodstock, Ontario.
Okay.
It's a very interesting mozzarella style of cheese that's washed in Cabernet Merlot.
Gorgeous.
So you can actually see the exterior.
Yes.
That's a Cabernet Merlot exterior.
So that's going to carry this well.
Well, Cabs and is a Bordeaux style red, so it's got some tannins to it. It's got a bit of tart to it. So when you get this rich, almost explosive fruit combination of the rosé, that pairs perfectly with the tart component of
Wonderful.
the Tipsy, and that's why that's a perfect
Well,
pairing.
thank you. Such great information today, and you're going to have to come down here to try this. What a wonderful experience. Barry Katzman, thank you so much. Cheers to you.
everybody. Thank
Cheers
you.
to everyone. We'll be back
Cheers.
with more TERRA at Home.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
The Hamilton Spectator, at work, at home, or on the go. Read us online, in print, or download us to your e-reader. Get the Hamilton Spectator any way you want it.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're here with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegro restaurant in Hamilton, and just in time for bikini season, we're gonna make all kinds of flavored butters today.
Yeah, well, you know what? This is probably one of the easiest things you can do to really enhance a dish.
Yes.
And a lot of home cooks don't do this. It's simple. I'm going to show you 3 different butters.
Okay.
2 of them I already made.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you how to make one, but the process is pretty much the same. So we already have 2. The 2 that I have done, one is sweet. So I did caramel and cashews. And what I did with those cashews is I just crushed them down, okay? Put them in a bag, used the meat mallet, beat it down, mixed in the butter, and put in the caramel and the cashews. The other one I did is a very citrusy one. So we did citrus fruits here. So I have some key limes, I have some lemon, I have an orange, I have some tarragon, and some shallots. So I minced the shallots, we chopped down the tarragon, we zested the other 3 fruits, mixed it into the butter, added salt to all of them.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Because when you make butter, you do want to use unsalted butter.
Okay.
So, and the third one we're going to do is savory.
Perfect.
So we have a little bit of everything. Now, first thing you want to do is cut your butter into cubes. You want it almost at room temperature just so it's nice and soft, okay? And the easiest way to do this is to do it in a mixer like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do it from this side so you can kind of see.
Right, which you normally wouldn't be doing.
No, normally you'd have this facing you, but we're going to do it this way here.
Okay.
All right, and you're going to start whipping that butter, okay? And you want it to soften up. So the longer you whip it, the better and the easier it is for you to work with it.
Sure.
Okay? We're going to add our salt.
So it's amazing how when you are in a restaurant, you are served one of these flavored butters. You're so fascinated by it. You understand how much flavor it does actually provide. But as you say, you never do it at home, but it's so easy to do.
It's so easy, and it stores really, really well.
Okay.
If you're not making a large amount, you can always put it in the fridge. If it's a larger amount, put it in your parchment paper, and I'll show you how to tie that off in a minute.
Okay.
And then you put it into the freezer and just cut off what you need when you want it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Great idea.
So really, really simple things. And you know what? I mean, the 3 that I've done here is from each flavor profile. However, you can do whatever you want. Start mixing and matching combinations. I like roasted garlic butter, and I save that so when we do mashed potatoes, instead of just putting garlic in your mashed potatoes, use the roasted garlic and just put it right on top of a baked potato, and it just melts as it's headed
And
to
it's
the table.
right done. And you've seen, like, I've had like a Stilton butter on top of a
Stilton
steak
butter,
before.
yeah.
And
All those cheese butters, those real strong cheeses.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna get this out of the whisk.
So as you say, once you've tried it and you realize the possibility, especially when you're talking about the sweet butter, of course, is what I'm
Sweet
like. What?
Yeah.
That's just like spread that on toast.
Yeah. All right. So what we have here for the savory is, this is a truffle paste. Yes. Now this is probably the hardest thing you're going to have to try to get a hold of. If you have real truffles, you can shave them in, okay? But this is what we end up doing with this is, after we've shaved all our truffles, I throw them all in the freezer because it gets to a point where you just can't use it anymore.
Right.
And then we start pureeing it. We add a little bit of oil and a little bit of garlic, and this is what we end up with.
You don't want to waste a little minuscule of a piece of a truffle, right? So
That's right.
What a great thing to do. Oh, if you love truffle, this will be fantastic.
Yeah, this is a nice butter. And you're just going to throw that right in there. Mix it all up.
Oh, that smells so good. Oh.
All right. Now, give it a good whisk. And the butter's going to turn nice and white, a little creamier for you. And the only other thing you're going to need is parchment paper for this. All right. So that's mixed in pretty good. I'm going to take this off. Get all the butter off of the whisk. There we go.
So talk to me about what you would use truffle butter for.
Oh, you put this on top of steaks. This is fantastic.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
I would have tried that.
Yeah, truffle. Or you know what? If you do I do make a carbonara from time to time, and instead of using regular butter, I'll put a little truffle butter into it because it really changes the profile of the whole carbonara dish.
It absolutely would. Truffle is a pretty powerful flavor.
It is. All right. So now I'm going to put this onto our parchment paper.
Okay.
And you want to spread it as evenly as possible.
I like that you can keep it and store it and you can keep it around for a while. Then it's worth the
It's worth the effort, for sure. Definitely worth the effort. All right. So now what you're going to do is you're going to start to roll it. squeeze it out to the side there a little bit. And you can use the heat from your hands to help mold this butter.
Okay.
It takes a little finagling, go back and forth on the parchment paper. There we go.
Wow.
And then you're going to take your ends and you're going to give them a twist. And you want to twist it fairly tight because what you'll see here is you have wrinkles in the paper. That becomes difficult to deal with. So as you twist it, that butter will fill that gap.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
There you
And
go.
there's your
Perfect.
compound butter. Now, like I said, you can put it in the fridge and you can use this whenever you want. It will last if it doesn't have a lot of acid in it, or it doesn't have
as
something
this
like
one.
the cheeses and stuff like that, where it has a little bit of mold already in there. It'll last a little bit longer in your fridge. Otherwise, put it in your freezer, and then as you want to use it, you just
You
start
can
cutting it
just
off.
slice it off.
Slice it off, and away
How
you go.
great is
But you can
that?
do anything with butters,
Right.
you know?
Like it really does.
nice.
It starts to make you think, especially this time of year when we have access to so many different types of herbs. You can think about like you can do a variety of just an herbed butter.
Yeah, you do a pesto butter with the basil, you do chive butters, you know,
Nice.
and lots of uses for it.
Awesome. Okay, you know what we'll do? We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we're just going to talk a little bit more about this because I want to know about what we're going to do with that.
We're going to do something with it
that
for sure.
caramel
You got it.
cashew butter. Amazing. A spoon is good. We'll be right back.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home. So we've had fun with butter today and made our variety of different butters.
Yes. So I'm going to
And-
show you some uses for
Yes,
it.
exactly. That's what we need to know now.
So I have a salmon fillet, and that's the one we're going to use for that citrus butter.
Okay.
Okay. So I just put a fillet in there and add a little bit of salt to it. Now keep in mind I already have some salt in the butter. Okay. This, we got some banana chocolate chip muffins, and I
Yes.
just spread the butter on. Now I put it on fairly thick so you can see the cashews and everything
Right.
in there. Now this one here I didn't put in the fridge. I left it out so that it's spreadable.
So you can spread it.
Okay, because this one here
Yes.
was in the fridge. It's very firm, and I'll cut this one right in half so you can see
Okay.
all the beautiful colors.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
nice that looks.
So you have all the orange peel in there and all the lemon, lime, and all that. So what we're going to do here, cut a piece off, and then you peel it back.
Oh, smell this one.
Yeah, that one's nice.
Amazing.
And we'll seal the other side.
So just a reminder, you can grab these recipes for all these different varieties of butters on our website at terragreenhouses.com. And of course, from that, you need to experiment because there are just so many options.
There's so many options. I mean, this is only a few that I was able to do today, but literally there's no end to what you
Right.
can do with the butters. So
Well, it opens up all kinds of options for you when you're cooking. If you're cooking that same piece of meat, then you're making different butters for it, and butter's okay. In moderation, we can eat it because at least it's pure and natural, right?
just
Look
put
at
it
that.
on and let her go.
Wow, that is awesome. I don't know. I think all these butters are fantastic, but I'm gonna go with that one the best.
Yeah, well, the sweet butter, I like the sweet butter.
Come
And you
on
know what,
now.
on sourdough, fantastic.
Good idea. Great ideas, Mark.
Thank you.
Try this out this weekend. Have a good one.